Welcome back to day 2 of our Bothy and wild camping trip. We're on our way to Tunskeen, Bothy at the moment. We're on the Carrick Forest Drive, I think it's called, but it's closed at the moment. As there's extensive forestry works going on. The weather's clearing up a little bit now, but it's pretty rough earlier on. But we're just on an ATV track. I can see the Bothy there, so whew. Yes. How are you feeling, Martin?
Feeling okay, you know.
Yeah.
It's, that last bit's a bit of a slog just because of the it's a bit soggy underfoot and quite muddy, but
yeah,
not too bad a hike though, I didn't think.
The rain came down, we got a bit wet, hence the ponchos, but it's looking pretty overcast still, if I'm honest.
Oh, nice. Oh, look at that.
So we're just in the process of getting organised here. We didn't bring any wood in with us. It's not really that cold, you don't desperately need a fire. But I'll just show you what's here. There's a sawhorse which is a bit rickety, and there's some pine there. I'm not convinced that most of that pine is actually seasoned. It seems to be pretty green to me. And then we've got a nice wood burner here, multi-fuel stove, but we have just pulled some cans out of it. There's a special type of person that comes to a Bothy and chucks the cans in the stove. Special type of person does that. But you've got a table here, windows, a bit of light coming in, and then you've got these 2 big sleeping platforms here. So we're just going to use this for our gear. It's amazing how much gear you bring with you just for an overnighter. And then we've got our mat set up. Martin's going to sleep there. And I'll sleep here. So yeah, Martin's just gone to get some water. He's got like a hang drip filter, which is pretty useful, so we'll sort that out.
Cheers. Cheers everyone. Cheers, Ben.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Bit lively. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Bothy number 2.
Martin's wandering into the woodlands to see if he can find some sticks. He really wants a fire, but I don't think there's much in there. And it's pretty treacherous walking across this stuff. You can easily twist your ankle.
I'll follow that match after you. Strike the middle one.
Well, we're getting stuck into dinner. I'm just going to have a go of this real termat tikka masala. I've never had this one before. It's been rehydrating now for about 20 minutes. But doesn't have smell nice like. Look at that, lovely. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That is nice. Oh, yes. First time I've had this, and straight away, oh, it's a little bit stodgy. Like I put more water in than you meant to, and it's still a little bit. I could have done with a bit more in, but taste-wise, spot on. Martin has had a 4-class
decathlon spaghetti bolognese. A banging 8.5.
He's given that an 8.5, a solid 8.5.
Yeah, really, really good. Where's mine?
Morning everyone. Got the first coffee of the day on the go. So that was a pretty good night in the Galloway Ritz, as we've called the place. It was a lot colder than it was in the last Bothy. And the last one I was sweating in my sleeping bag during the night, but I was comfortable tonight. But we've woken up and it's a bit cloudy outside. We were promised some decent weather once the storm blew over, but I don't think we're going to get it really. Not really sure what our plans are today. We were going to go and camp at Loch Grannoch, depending on the conditions, but we might find another Bothy to go to. Once we get some signal, we'll have a look on the NBA site and see what's around.
Quite nice reflecting in that little bit of water down there. Yeah, there's blue sky now, man.
Is there? So we're off wild camping tonight. We left the Bothy this morning, walked out, the weather changed a bit, we had some blue skies, we've stopped for lunch. It's 4:15 now and we're just heading up towards Loch Grannoch, where we intend to spend the night. So we've arrived at the spot where I bivvied under a tarp a good few years back now. I always remember that tree there, thinking I do not want to camp anywhere underneath that. But it's a bit boggy coming over, and since I was here there's been a massive fire pit that has been built, and just look at the state of that. Filthy, horrible, filthy wild campers. So we've had a look down there for somewhere to camp, but it's really boggy and there's not a lot of areas really, not a lot of space. So we've come back to the lodge and we'll just camp here. The place where I camped earlier on a few years back, it's about 3 trees fallen down around that area, so can't use that anymore. And the place where I bivvied, it's not good really, so this is our only option. So we're going to get set up now and then crack open a beer and start looking for some firewood, I think. Martin, what do you reckon?
Yeah, firewood.
That's the plan. So we're just getting pitched up here by the lodge. I've got the old Jackie Wolfskin with me, trusty reliable one-person tent. Decided to bring that. It's kind of semi-freestanding, so once you get the the external pole in, like the 2 ends are freestanding really, you just need to peg the sides out. So it's a useful tent when you don't know what kind of ground you're going to be camping on. And Martin is pitching his new tent. It's one from Decathlon. It's a 4-class something or other.
MT900.
MT900 trekking pole tent. It's yeah, we both haven't got the most discreet tents, have we? That kind of blue thing, and then Marty's tent, which looks like a massive jellyfish at the minute. But it's the first time he's pitched it, so
You can probably tell.
aye. So I've got a beer open. Martin's really struggling with this new. Aye, I've popped one, mate.
Yeah.
Martin's struggling with the tent. It's the first time he's pitched it, so he took the inner out to travel with it, and we didn't really know how to get it back together. So we've had to get on to YouTube and watch a video of someone putting it together. But I think it's beginning to take shape. The real problem with this area here, it's all these forested areas. If you're near a track, they just fill the ground with all the stone you can see, so we can't get the pegs in. So we're just getting a small campfire on. Yeah, it's getting dark now. I'm not sure what time it is. Yeah, we didn't get much chance to do any proper firewood prep. Martin's tent just took ages to sort out. He's got it up now though, so he's got somewhere to sleep. There's a bit of wood lying around. We're on beer number 2. We're going to get dinner on, eat that, a couple of glasses of wine, and then just enjoy the evening. Oh, that's the wrong one. So we're out here doing a bit of bushcraft, and we just thought we'd do a little bit of educational stuff. So if your fire's going out, Martin, he's got a good technique, a good proper solid bushcraft technique. Look at that.
It's a 4-class sitting mat.
Yep.
Just give it a waft like that. Look at that.
He calls it the wafter.
The wafter. The big wafter.
Is there any other kind of techniques, variations of that?
No,
wafting
well
technique?
there's that. You can do that.
Yeah.
If there's not enough, sometimes you can just make it into the...
Oh, like the thin wafter, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that, man.
It never ever fails. That's a little bushcraft tool. That you can do it with. So
you learned that when you were.
top.
You learned that when you were in the Arctic with Ray. Isn't that right, Ray Mayers that time?
Did you know I went there with him?
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
told
know
us
you
about it,
Yeah, years ago
Right.
that was. I won a competition through the Blue. What? No, it wasn't Blue Peter, but it was one of those programs, and I won a competition. You could say, and mine was to spend a weekend with
Big Ray up in the Arctic.
and he took us to the Arctic, yeah, and he told me.
He did say it, didn't he? He was like, Martin, please, like, don't forget your knife, don't forget your axe, and don't forget your 4-class seat. And you were like, well, that's a bit odd.
Yeah, he says, whatever you do, don't forget your 4-class. Because he says knife, you can easily find a knife probably, or make one, But he says, without your wafter, you're screwed, because fire is the most important thing. Once you get going, shelter, fire. After that, you just, you get your food. But look, it works. Look at that, it's gone right up.
Yeah, so that's a top bushcraft tip for everyone there.
Don't forget your, it doesn't have to be 4 class. I think yours is
Thermarest, it's a posh one that.
Thermarest, yeah, yours got a
You don't want to get that too near the fire though.
But I don't think yours works as well as the 4 class, to be honest. It might cost a lot more, but look at that.
Morning. Got a coffee on the go. Just having a look round this lodge here. I believe it was a hunting or a fishing lodge at some point. Not really sure who owns it now, but it would make a cracking little bothy. But yeah, last night we had a good time around the fire, had a few beers, and then we just retired to our tents for the evening. Stayed clear pretty much all night. Well, I say clear, it didn't rain, but it started to cloud over, so we didn't get to see the galaxies, which you can up here in the dark sky park. But it's alright this morning. The moon still way up in the sky there. But a little chilly last night. It's starting to get a little bit colder. There's Martin. He had a decent night's sleep in his tent.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. He's just flying up his drone now to get some shots of the loch. Just going to have a wander down to the loch shore here while Martin's flying his drone. Just have a look at the scenery. Well, it's time to get packed up. Getting eaten alive by the midge. So just patting the tents away, and just to give you an idea of how hard the ground is here, we were just surveying Martin's campsite and we found somebody else's tent peg. It's an Alp kit one. Someone else obviously struggled to get the pegs in up here at some point in the past.
Pack feels heavier coming past.
So we left Loch Grannoch this morning. On the way back to the car, it was pretty interesting actually. We met a couple of chaps who were pushing a huge trolley up the hill with I think they had some kind of raft in there, and 3 days worth of supplies, but it looked more like 3 weeks. So yeah, we left there this morning. And we just came back down to my little woodland. So me and Martin are just enjoying a bit of a campfire and some beers. We called into Aldi on the way down to get some lunch and to restock the booze supplies. And I've got the old Ald IPA. You can see what they've done there, can't you? And Martin, he's got a lovely raspberry stout which he rates highly.
7, I've given a solid 7, yeah.
Solid 7.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Midnight Ripple, Raspberry Ripple Stout, but it's from the Stewart Brewing, so it's, you might not get them in all Lidls, and
yeah, you might not
Aldi's
get them,
it could just be a Scot, because it was in Scotland. It's a Scottish brewing company called Stewart Brewing.
Midnight Ripple, so if you come across that, check it out. This evening's fare for me, I think I'm going to have a Duncan's chicken broth. I'm not going to review that. Well, I should actually. That'd be a good avenue to take for the channel.
End up reviewing everything we do.
Just everything. No, I'm just going to review everything.
Review the fire later.
Yeah, I've got some cheap wine. I'm going to review that as well. Anyway, what I was meant to do was sign off, because we were going to do another wild camp actually, but things just got a bit too much.
Aches and pains.
Yeah, we're getting old, like, when we're starting to feel it. So we've been on the go for 4 days now, isn't it? Pretty much.
Since Saturday, so we stayed here Saturday.
Yeah, so we stayed here Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so
4 nights.
we thought we'd just come back to the woods, and just put our feet up, because Martin's got a hell of a long drive tomorrow all the way down to Brighton. So yeah, that was the plan, so we can get rested tonight and we can set off early-ish in the morning. So yeah, well, I think that's it. So I'm going to sign off. So as ever, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch up with you again in the next one. Cheers.